Today I have Kev Blackburn with me. I oftentimes refer to him, but I've never really had him on the YouTube channel specifically to introduce himself and to get to know where he's coming from and what he's done. So, welcome, Kev Blackburn.
Thank you very much, Jake. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for getting up. It's what time is it over there?
The time is actually 20 past 11 a.m., so it's much earlier for you, right?
Yeah, a little. Yeah, it's 5:17 a.m. here, so a little bit.
Wow. Commitment that is.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. It all works out in the end, and I'm kind of more of a morning person. Um, as long as I get through most of the morning ritual, it seems to kick off all right. Speaking of that, do you have a morning ritual?
Great question. Yeah, I do actually. I do. I try to get up around about. I need to be out of bed for 6 a.m. And then what I tend to do, very important thing that I do is not be on the internet. So I actually turn my Wi-Fi off on my phone. I don't have my laptop on. I don't have my. I'm just not connected to the internet because it's so easy to just immediately get sucked into emails and social media and things. So I'm not connected to the internet for a good 30 minutes at least in the mornings. Then what I'll do is I'll come into the office, which is just this office here. I've got a couple of lights here. I like the candle light. Do you know, instead of just putting some sort of light on straight away, I try to relax first thing in the morning. I've got my goals. I have Blinkist, the app. Have you heard of Blinkist, the app?
No.
No, it's a great app for those guys that are into like the reading and things. Basically, what Blinkist does is it will condense a whole book into what they call blinks. So a book like, I don't know, let's call it Tools of Titans, right? Tools of Titans. Look how thick this book is. It's like over 600 pages, and Blinkist will just condense it down into like 10 blinks. So you just get the best of what Tools of Titans have got to offer. And I quite like that. You can get through lots of information. So I tend to do that. And then I'm focused on the day, really. I try to get some exercise done. I go for runs in the morning. And then it's time to get the kids out of bed, ready for school.
Okay, so you have a very in-depth routine then. I like the light thing though, because lights they kind of jolt you awake, I guess.
Yeah, well, I found, to be honest with you, as I've built my business and as we go through this entrepreneurship journey, there's so much things that you've got to focus on every day. Like, oh, I've got to get this accounting done, or I've got to get this done, and I've got to get, and somebody needs you, or something's broken in the business, and you've got to deal with it. And I found that it's actually quite a nice thing to do in the morning, is instead of waking up with all that stress and all that firefighting, just relax and just put a candle on and just be peaceful for a period of time. It makes me feel a lot better in the day, start off the day. And then especially when I go then for a run as well, get some AirPods in and listen to some like Rocky Balboa or some motivational music. And it just makes the day start off right.
Okay, sure. Okay. You mentioned that you may have a lot of fires to put out and things to do. What, I guess, if you can kind of simplify it, what does your business look like?
Well, yeah, okay. So I guess since 2015, I started my first business, which was Amazon FBA, online arbitrage, right? So that is still my core business. Like that is what got me I was able to quit my job from online arbitrage. I quit my electrical engineering position. Then we got out into the warehouse. So we've got the girls in the warehouse that ship products every day. We've got a virtual team then that source products, purchase products every day. So that is like still like the core business. But then since then, I've expanded to we have the prep service now. We've got the brand life success engineer now. We've obviously got the YouTube channel and things. So a lot of what I do right now is I'm trying my best to give responsibility to other people. So we've gone through a period these last sort of 6 to 12 months of the business becoming more mature. So instead of you doing everything, and that's what everybody starts there. You are your business. At the start, I was sort of purchasing, I was reviewing, I was doing all these different things. Now I've actually got business area managers. So I now have an area manager for my online arbitrage business. I now have an area manager for my prep service. I've got an area manager for my brand. So that allows me then to leverage their time. And I've structured my business that way, which ultimately allows me to have more freedom for sure.
So okay, so you have an online arbitrage, the prep side, then the brand side, and then you said wholesale, I think.
Yeah, we've got wholesale. I class the online arbitrage business, the wholesale business, as more of the physical products business, and we've started fulfilled by merchant this year as well, which is cool.
Oh, okay. I think
Yeah,
I saw that actually in one of your most recent YouTube videos.
yeah. It's been definitely a great thing that we've done to include. We're actually in the Seller Fulfill Prime enrollment trial period right now, so that'd be a good thing once we get that Prime tick as well.
Especially when we get into Q3 and Q4, absolutely.
Definitely.
And you'll save a lot on fees too. I recently did my fees, like exact fees of fulfillment and referral fees and all that, and the Amazon portion was basically 23 to 26%. I was a little surprised because I always thought it was 20%, but
Yeah, you got to be careful on those Amazon fees for sure.
so I can see, if you're fulfilled by a merchant, that's pretty smart, because if you have something little that can fit in like a bubble mailer or whatever, I always say video games, it's just, it's easy.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's all about for me. It's all about leveraging the resources that you already have. So when we first started, we just didn't have the time to do fulfillment by merchant. But now we've got the system with the warehouse. Now we've got the resources. Now we've got the girls in the warehouse. It makes sense to leverage that resource already. So there's no additional work for us. It's just we may get now a fulfillment by merchant order. So like for the last, we get anywhere between sort of 5 and 10 orders per day now, which is really quite cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess with all that, then you mentioned, well, Blinkist actually was for books. Never mind. You actually didn't talk about how you managed the online arbitrage, the prep service, the brands, other than having your managers. Are there other tools or systems maybe that you use on those?
Oh, definitely. I think the big thing that I've tried to do and I've tried to share, and I know since meeting you, Jake, and being able to support you on your journey and things, the big things for me is the systemization of the business, right? So that's what I've always spoken about. So how do you systemize a business? Well, over the last sort of 3, 4 years, I've used lots of different. I've obviously invested a lot in myself in terms of work the system. Great book. Really, really recommend that book. There's a book called Clockwork as well, which I'll recommend to you guys here. Clockwork, highly recommend this book too. And basically, what it comes down to is you managing systems and not people. So, how do we, as business owners, business managers, how do we manage the systems and not people? We've got to create systems, right? So, what we do is we've got working procedures for every single task that we do. So, if you think of I don't know, a McDonald's or a Starbucks, the way that they manage the quality of everything that happens in their business, so like a hamburger, is through that system that they've created. They prepare that hamburger the same every single time. So that's what we've tried to do with our business in every stage. Whether it's sourcing, we're looking for a criteria every time. Whether it is reviewing, we're looking for that criteria every time we review. When we're shipping, we are managing the shipping operations from the login to the actual prep to the boxing, the quality control, the same every time. And that's through working procedures. And then we've got roles and responsibilities for everybody in the team as well, which is then ultimately all managed through Asana. Have you heard of Asana?
Yes.
I'm sure you use. Do you use Asana at this point?
Yeah, we do use
Yeah.
Asana. It's nice.
Yeah, Asana's fantastic. I mean, if you think about it, at first, when it's maybe just you in your business, you're trying to do all your different tasks. But as I started to introduce like virtual assistants and employees, like your mind would go crazy if you were just trying to chase up everybody saying, have you done this task? Have you done this task? Have you done your I don't know, unfulfillable products, or have you done your stranded items? Have you done reprice it, or all these loads of different tasks that we've got. So filling up Asana allows Asana then to manage everybody and prompt everybody that today these tasks are required.
Okay, so yeah, you have working procedures, you use Asana, you have different things that you use to track where your employees are at then. That makes it a lot more doable, I think, and that's originally why I started watching your YouTube videos more and more, and eventually got into your program, was because I knew small business owners like growing up or whatever, and they were always like work, 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 and it never seemed to really get too far ahead or scale, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But with something like this and putting other people in charge, it just makes a lot more sense to me, anyways.
Yeah,
To have those
I mean,
systems.
yeah, I think it's the only way, to be honest. I think as you start to build your business, it all comes down to the leverage that you have. Like when it's just you can only do so much in the day. So there has to come a time where you introduce other people into your business, either through employees, through virtual assistants, or automated services like automated processes like Repricer Express, for example, that will manage the repricing automatically. That's the only way. And I guess the best way that you can, or the best example of that, if you think of Jeff Bezos himself, the owner of Amazon, if you think of how he's built Amazon, there's incredible amount of leverage what he now has. Every day he's got 500,000 employees. He's got how many fulfillment centers are in the world on all continents at this point. I mean, he's the ultimate example of leverage and systems.
So that's kind of ironic, because you have an Amazon business and you see what Amazon's doing, and then here's what you're doing. It can be quite similar.
Yeah, I think like for all of us, wherever you are right now in your business journey, like if you are just getting started, or you've maybe got you've been building your business for a few months and maybe years at this point, I think our ultimate goal for all of us is I mean, let me ask you the question. What are you building your business for? It's got to be more for the experience of life, right? Freedom, adventure, travel.
Exactly. Yeah, you nailed it. Freedom and experience. Absolutely.
Yeah, and the only way you can do that without having your business stop is by trying to introduce leverage and systems in your business. So you can leave your business and you can go on holiday for a week, 2 weeks. Eventually, you should be able to go on holiday for like a whole month, and your business is still running. Now, that's not to say that the 4-hour work week, like the Tim Ferriss version of how he's made that popular, of like go sit on a beach with a laptop. Like I think we all understand that there's a little bit more involved. Instead of 4 hours a week, you're probably working more 60 to 80 hours to begin with anyway.
Absolutely. Yeah. The book definitely has great fundamentals as far as getting virtual assistants and uh, figuring out products to launch and how to determine what your brand or product is. Absolutely. I love that material in there. But yeah, the whole 4-hour thing, it's just, I think it's more because not necessarily a fire is going to happen, but you're going to just keep growing, because really you're either growing or you're declining in my book. So to go, the same and say, okay, my businesses all take 4 hours, You know, I don't think
Yeah,
he's going to grow, I guess, is what I mean by that.
yeah, and to be fair to for Tim Ferriss, I mean, if he would have titled the book 80-hour work week, I mean, it would not sell because nobody would pick it up. So I guess the title 4-hour work week is a little bit more appealing for us.
Oh, true, true. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense, though. I hear you there.
But yeah, I mean, the fundamentals are there. Um, I have what I call like the 15 steps to business systemization, and that's certainly what I do. I think there's two sides to systemizing your business. There's like the business foundations. You've got to build solid foundations. Like, what are you actually building your business on? Some like the ultimately it goes down to the objective. What is the objective of your business? The principles in your business. You know, you've got the stages of your business, being able to see your business as a machine, if you like it's got different processes and different stages. Then the people that you need in your business, whether that is the organizational chart, whatever it is, that's like the foundational side of your business. And then you've got the operations management. Like, how do you then make sure that the operations are happening every day? And that's when we start talking about the asanas. We start talking about Slack, the communication of using Slack. We start talking about appraisals, like how are people performing in your business, the hiring of staff. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, it has all those elements to manage the systems, as you said. Instead of managing the person, you're managing the system.
Exactly.
So that you can do what you're doing with online arbitrage business that, if you don't mind getting into numbers, is several £1,000s a month, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so we actually started in I'll just give you guys a bit of a history if you're not fully aware, but we started in the June of 2015, and as soon as I got that first sale, could you still remember your first sale?
Thrilling.
Yeah, that first sale. Funny enough, I mean, we're recording this on the 6th of June. I got my first sale, if I remember rightly, the 13th of June of 2015, and that was like, so 4 years ago at this point. And as soon as I saw that first sale, I was absolutely all in, and heavily went all in, day and night. I was just sourcing as much as I can. The first month I got to like £6,000 sales, which was like amazing. I mean, that was like 3 times more than my wage. It was like, wow. Fast forward 6 months, quit my job because we'd sold over £100,000 worth of products. We'd got to £36,000 in sales in a 30-day period for that first Q4, and that was it. I was like, I'm absolutely all in. Quit the job to go all in, and then I know you're leaving your job over the next few weeks, which is amazing time. How you've managed to do what you've done while working full time is incredible. But yeah, so we ended up scaling a bit more, get out into the warehouse. We ended up passing £1 million in sales in early 2017, which was amazing for us. It was like, wow, we've sold like £1 million worth of products in like total. And now we're on course for that's what my next goal is. I want to sell £10 million worth of products, and we're roughly around about 3 million at this point. So we've got a way to go, but we're heading there. We're going.
Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. I just, I don't want to like brag or anything like that. I'm not trying to be like that, but just to quantify something so that the viewers and the audience kind of see where you're coming from and why it's just you're speaking the truth about systemization and about getting people on your team and building your team. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think I mean, from all the work that we've experienced and the journey that we've gone through, this isn't something that sort of I knew right at the beginning. Like, it was just a process of discovery. Like, you build your business, and the bottlenecks you experience and the issues that you experience, like the problems that you have in your business sort of on a daily basis, that's opportunity to put in a system that prevents that issue from happening. And over time, now we've got four the 4 girls in the warehouse. We've got Kylie as the warehouse manager in there. She's done everything with me. We've got 3 employees in the warehouse. We've got a full virtual team who, like I say, we don't do any purchasing in our business anymore. So we've got the whole virtual side of the operations done. We've got the prep service obviously needs managing as well. So we've got the employees in the prep service. I've got a customer support team now, part of the brand. I've got, there's so many different people in the business now, and I just would not be able to manage it all if it wasn't for systems, for sure. That's why systems is my favorite word, if you haven't guessed.
That's why I had to bring it up towards the beginning, because I don't think I heard you say it. Either my ears weren't turned on because it's 5:30 in the morning, or I missed it, or you didn't say it. So absolutely. I guess to back up to the question that you asked me, what is your reason for having all these systems and businesses in place? Your ultimate goal, I guess.
Yeah, so my goal was always to, I didn't want to quit my electrical engineering position to have another job, right? That was not my goal. Like I stepped back. I became an electrical engineer at 25 years old, and that was my career ambition, right? That's just what I came out of school. I went to university, and that's what I wanted to do. But what I discovered was electrical engineering is a very time-intensive career. Like you're at work a lot, you're at your desk a lot, phone calls, emails a lot, and that's not what I thought life was going to be about. I thought when I would become an engineer, I would have money to travel, to go to different cultures and experience, go over to the US and then go over to India and just experience different cultures. And it's just not the case. Like electrical engineering is not a career that's going to allow you to do that. And that's why when I started an online business, I could see the end goal where we leverage, like Amazon, we leverage the ability to have YouTube channels and Facebook groups and go to wholesale trade shows and build relationships and all these different things that you could have people in place. So my goal was always to become a business owner, ultimately, to have a business that's allowing me to live the lifestyle that I want with my family while having operations every day. And I mean, since 2015, like before 2015, I was maybe going on holiday like once every 2 years or something. And now it's just amazing. Now we're able to experience places of the world that we've never, that I really wanted to go to. But now I've been to Rome and I've had dinner with Kylie at the Colosseum. I've had dinner at the Pantheon, which is amazing. I've taken the children to Disneyland, and I've been to the French Alps. I've been skiing and all these amazing experiences of life that we actually want to build our businesses for.
Okay, no, that's beautiful. Those are definitely some amazing experiences. And it's not something where you got to wait till the end, till everything's done, and you can do it during, because you already experienced some of that freedom and such.
Yeah.
On your Instagram, I've seen the skiing, and I've seen the Coliseum and the amazing dinners and things. So
yeah, and going back to Tim Ferriss, I mean, we've touched on Tim Ferriss now. He calls it like mini retirements. So like my ultimate goal, if this is what I'm working towards, is I want to go on holiday maybe once every 3 months, like work really, really hard, and then have a period like a mini retirement. And then over the summer holidays with the children, when they're off school, go away for 6 weeks and then just travel around a little bit. I mean, that's dreamland. Amazing.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Absolutely. They I guess what's next for, well, maybe I'll edit that up.
Yeah.
What would you recommend then for somebody that's kind of looking at this conversation between us, and I guess what would you say to them? I know that's really open question, but
Yeah, well, what would I say to somebody that's maybe watching this? So it all ultimately depends on what your goal is, like what it is that you want to do. And if you don't know, that's fine. Like a lot of people, I know for me, I never gave it much thought on ultimately what it is that I wanted to do. So we've spoken about different experiences in this video so far. If one of your experiences is that adventure, that travel, that freedom, then you got to think about what vehicle, like what business model suits that. Whether it is a business model or a career, like some people are in careers, which is fine. But if your career or if your business model does not suit the life that you want to build, then that's the first thing to start at. You're going to have to think about the different business models out there, whether it is online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, wholesale, private label. There's Amazon. There's so much involved in Amazon. There's merch by Amazon. There's so many different things you can do. Create your own brand. It all depends on what your current situation is and what resources you have available. Whether you've got, somebody that has a bit of capital could get into online arbitrage, because as me and you do need to have some capital to get started. You're going to have to purchase some products to sell them. But if maybe you don't have much capital, then there are other business models out there that you could start. You could start, for example, get down the road of affiliate marketing, or you start creating content and you start helping people online with your YouTube channel, or with your own Facebook communities. And that is another way that you could do it. So that's the first thing, like what is it that you actually want to do? But then if we started to talk about maybe business, then the first thing is to start. You've got to start. Like that is the key, I guess, the key hurdle that you've got to go over. And I don't know whether you can remember. Do you remember when you first started your business, Jake? Was there a whole lot of confusion, learning?
Yes, yeah, there's pieces of the puzzle all over the place. YouTube, blogs, written, all over the place. There's a lot of
and that's how everybody starts. I mean, when you first start something, you don't know. And that's the process of learning. You try to figure this out, and you're like, okay, what is the system? Like, what is the business? How does it work? And you stumble your way through. So that's what I would say. Just the first few months, you're going to do a whole lot of learning and experiencing and failing and confusion. And it's going to take you all night just to figure out how to list. I mean, I remember when I first created my first shipment. Do you remember when you first created your first shipment for Amazon? How confusing was that?
A disaster.
I remember picking up the item and thinking, right, this Amazon barcode, am I covering this barcode? Like, it's just confusion. I just don't know, and that's fine. The goal is just to get started and stumble your way through and watch people like Jake, find people, communities that can help you and ask questions. And for me, I obviously believe in mentorship. I do believe in like a very quick way to fast track is through a coach, through a mentor, through a training program. And ultimately, that's what I've tried to practice. Like, I've gone to seminars. I go to seminars because I want to learn from somebody, or I purchase training programs because I know that training program is going to allow me to see, right, start here, do this, do A, B, C, D, E. I think that's one of the drawbacks to YouTube channels and I guess blogs, and it can be quite confusing because you don't know at what point in the business you're entering, what point of the business that particular piece of content is referring to, because you maybe don't know the bigger picture at that point. So I think I've answered that question really long, but there's two things there. Two things. Yeah, you're gonna think about ultimately what it is that you want to do, how you want to experience your life, and then just choose a business model. Like if it's online arbitrage, if you love to get stuck in or retail arbitrage, and you love to be a real practical person, and you're like, okay, I'm just going to go to stores and I'm gonna get my phone out and I'm gonna just scan all day. Like if you're a practical person, you get up and go out there and do it, that's perfect for you. You're gonna love it because you're gonna be hustling and you're gonna be here, there, and everywhere. So just get out and do that. But just get started.
Yes. So it's a matter of figuring out what you want ultimately, and then the vehicle you want, and then getting started. But yeah, there's a lot of confusion at the beginning. Absolutely. I mean, that's what I meant when I was saying like YouTube and blogs and all that. Is because I was trying to find information. It wasn't actually YouTube, surprisingly. That was the last place I looked, and like I said, that's where I found you. But for others that may be looking to find you, though, Kev, where can we find you?
Yeah, well, I've got a YouTube channel which I publish a lot of content on there now. It's Life Success Engineer. That's my brand. I talk all things about taking massive action. That's what I genuinely believe. If you want massive success, it's going to need massive action. You're going to have to take huge amounts of action. And that's what I tried to do on every piece of content that I tried to share. I tried to talk about whether it's something business related through Amazon, like insights on Amazon, or whether it's productivity related, because ultimately you don't go anywhere unless you take action. So I tried to help people with the personal development side of things as well, because I genuinely believe, I know through one of my early mentors called Jim Rohn, highly recommend that you check out Jim Rohn. He said that your success in business, the success that you have in entrepreneurship, is a lot of the times in direct proportion to your personal growth. So as your business grows, you've got to grow. And as you grow, your business will grow. So I try to share all these things of personal development as well.
Life Success Engineer.
Yeah, I'll share with you some links and things that you can find.
Well, I appreciate you coming on and introducing yourself, because like I say, I reference you all the time, but it's finally awesome to get you on here and have you actually speak for yourself instead of me always talking for you. So
I appreciate I appreciate you, Jake. It's been an absolute pleasure. It was a pleasure to meet you. How long we met now? 18 months? 24 months?
Yeah, pretty close. 16 or 18 months. Yeah.
Yeah. So over the last sort of 18 months, I know for me, it's been an absolute pleasure to see you grow from in your business, like from the amazing things that you're doing right now. And now you're evolving even further. And now what you're doing is you're going out and helping other people. You're now quitting you're quitting your job. You've got a fantastic Amazon business where you're doing multiple tens of thousands of dollars, a month. I mean, it's fantastic. You've got so much to share, and it's been an absolute pleasure to meet you, honestly.
Likewise.